In August this year, foreign shop owners trading in Soweto had their businesses ransacked.
Guys, no!
This footage, which was circulated on social media a few weeks earlier, sparked the outrage. They say the attacks were the result of an orchestrated campaign which claimed that they sold fake and expired goods.
Blue now. I'm not sure in South Africa do we sell blue meat.
The fake food, this is, I can say 100% lies. That's to blaming us, because when we buy stock, we run to the cash and carry.
Ironically, the alleged expired goods were stolen by the looters, including non-consumables like fridges. They then set about stripping the shops of their valuable materials and torched whatever was left.
There are about 1,200 migrant-owned business, mainly from Ethiopia and Bangladesh. And the estimate of actually what is lost, we did not actually yet compile, but we estimate it in the course of hundreds of millions of rands.
So they are selling expired items. And what is worse again, it's the items that they are manufacturing themselves. I feel pity and I feel like crying tears.
The eruption of violence following these allegations claimed 3 lives and sparked a multitude of raids in various provinces. Could some of these attacks be influenced by xenophobia against foreign nationals, or is there a genuine concern about the potential health hazards from products sold at spaza shops? We investigate these allegations in this episode of Special Assignment. In the aftermath of the looting of foreign-owned shops here in Zola, Soweto, amid allegations that they were selling expired and counterfeit goods, we meet the shop owner of this shop to find out exactly what transpired on that day. 35-year-old Abdul Rahim is married to a South African woman and both have 2 children. Rahim, a Bangladeshi national, has been living in the country for more than a decade.
On 29th of August, it was in the morning, I get a call from my brother. They say in Soweto there is something wrong going on. After that they say no, there is a lot of people here. The people, we don't know them, they come with a taxi, they try to vandalize the shop, they want to loot it. I said okay, it's fine, call the police. When they call the police come after some time. But in the meantime, before police came, they was trying very hard to break the door in the front, but they couldn't win. So when police come, police call my brother, so okay, come out, we are here to fetch you, we want to save your life.
Rahim says the police were outnumbered by the looters and could not prevent the attack on his shop. He says his brother and workers were whisked away by the police in the nick of time, grateful to be unharmed.
I think there is some criminal activities from long in social media. They were saying we are foreign people here selling the counterfeit food. We are making the cold drinks. We are making here like a fake food, and we are selling here expiry food. Yeah, it's fine. I understand that any place, even any shop, even in the house, if you not look after nice, maybe some things it can get expired. But there is a counterfeit, the fake food. This is, I can say, 100% lies. That's to blaming us.
Guys, no!
These images of alleged fake products circulated on social media a few weeks earlier.
This is wrong thing.
And sparked the outrage. Rahim says his shop was fully compliant and all his documentation was in order. He stocked an array of products including vegetables and meat. His compliance documentation was burnt in the chaos.
We're still busy compiling a database by working with the community leaders of the affected 3 migrant communities, the Ethiopian, Somali, and Bangladesh. But we estimate there are about 1,200 migrant-owned business, mainly from Ethiopia and Bangladesh. And the estimate of actually what is lost, we did not actually yet compile, but we estimate it in the course of hundreds of millions of rands.
Foreign shop owners in Soweto blame the attack on their business on high levels of poverty, unemployment, and some criminal elements in the township.
There is high unemployment rate, high poverty. There is competition also with the local community and also a dislike. So all these factors actually brings together is actually the recipe why our businesses were under attack.
These attacks came off the back of disgruntled local businesses which believe that foreigners have taken their opportunities to make a living.
So they are selling expired items. And what is worse again, it's the items that they are manufacturing themselves. I feel pity and I feel like crying tears because at some days, I think after 2012, we sat down and said, we can only work together if you have complied.
Last month, Soweto community leaders, business owners and government officials gathered in Meadowlands to discuss plans to revive the township economy, which they say has been overtaken by foreign business.
I was proposing the law to say if there was the regulation as supposed, the government has looked into the law of South Africa. This couldn't even happen. It couldn't have happened because there would be the law that is regulated, because now the government undermined what they were supposed to do rightfully. I am saying, government, look into your books. Look into your books.
We are losing the best of kids. People that are fathers or pastors that comes from a church.
No taxi, nothing. We were not notified. I get to town, there's nothing.
The Cape Flats is under siege by the gangsters, by the drug dealers.
The community here say at this point in time they have had enough.
The end of the day, what is happening? The police do nothing. The doctors get lost. We are sick and tired of this. We want the government to take note of us.
Talk to us about this Imbiza.
It's a national call for black people to come and have a conversation about the black condition. We have realized that after all that suffering, black people are still going through economic frustration. We also believe that heritage should be there to bring black and white together. We're not against the idea of rainbowism.
Is he facing conspiracy? What is the nature of the corruption charges that he faces? But if it's a blatant kind of corruption case, he faces a potential 15 years in prison. And lest we forget, his father is in the dock in a few weeks' time, also facing corruption charges. So those parallels between father and son and the regime change in South Africa and what's happening with our courts at the moment will be something that is profoundly interesting, I think, to all South Africans.
Mimosa is an informal settlement in Elof, a few kilometers outside Delmas in Mpumalanga. Many people living here survive on peace jobs and government grants. They are among a reported 11 million citizens in South Africa who are food insecure, the most vulnerable in our society. 28-year-old Mukata Modisi says the 400 rand she gets from a child grant goes towards buying food.
Ngiyathenga lamandiyoni because my yikho la kuseduze khona. Mara equality yakhona avela yikho quality because last thing ngithenga inyama yenkukhu yakhona mangiyipheka yaphuma amagwebu so amanzi okhona mangiwachitha la ababovu. Siyathenga khona because mawuthi uyathenga ngimana shodayo bayakuhlisela bathi hayi my sister lento le yi 15 rand mara ngoba uyayifuna ithathe nange 10 rand.
She says she tries to support spaza shops owned by South Africans, but says they only keep a few items and are often out of stock.
Baphatha izinto eziningi mawufika into into oyifunayo uyayithola mayela kithi abantu abamnyama sometimes mawufika into uyithola yabo abathengisi yonke into inkinga phela yikho lokho mawubuyela futhi uthenga uyazitshela ukuthi hayi angisathengi leya ngoba ngiyibonile expired so uthenga izinto mhlambe ezingekho kile abantu laba esithengisa nabo la local yabo mhlambe ishizi yabo i-cold drink ya ngoba vele la kunegesi uyakhona ukuzithenga lezo mara uma-rice ama-tin fish nani awusakucabangi vele yikho siya ngoba vele laba bawathengisa nama-cold drink.
A few meters down the road, we meet 23-year-old Sabrina Moorman, who says she's in the same predicament. Sabrina says with the little money she makes from selling scrap metal, she buys low-quality cheap food from spaza shops because quality food is expensive.
Ons koop saans hier by die container, maar soos wat ons gesê het, die gehalte van die kos is nie baie goed nie. Soms is die kos verval en dit is nie baie goeie kos nie en dan kry jy ook van dit wat van 2, 3 tot 5 weke terug al verval het ook. Ja.
En wat is jou ondervinding toe jy hierdie kos gekoop het?
Ek was teleurgesteld geweest want jy betaal daarvoor.
The local authorities say, following complaints from the community in the Delmas area, they raided several foreign-owned shops as they searched for expired foodstuffs, which they confiscated.
Expiry, but it's not there. Where's
In one of the shops, they found cockroaches inside food that was being sold to the people.
We know that Delmas is big, is surrounded by farms. We know the situation that people from the farms, they don't check mostly these dates on the items. When we arrived there, it was another experience. The first shop that we visited, people are sleeping inside. There is toilet inside that shop. There is bathroom right inside that shop. Everything was packed in. When you check the quality of chips that they are, potato chips that they are doing, they are very, very bad. We clean up everything. In the process, we're joined by the councillor of that ward, Councillor Pat. We call the head of fire section, Mr. Bolton. We said, no, let him also come and check the shop, because that shop, the first shop that we visited, it is not even having an operating license. Again, it is not having a building plan.
We met the local councillor at a nearby school. She says the people of Mimosa live in abject poverty, unable to source nutritious food, which sees them develop health complications from malnutrition.
Poverty is so high in our areas and the unemployment is high. So the people go to the nearest places where it's convenient and that if they have the few cents to buy something, they will. So it is a huge concern here, the health issues, environmental issues, and these illegal shops that are open, they need to be closed.
Former councillor and community activist Igetse Sepanyani says the municipality does not have the capacity to ensure that informal traders comply with the necessary food safety standards.
I'm saying the environmental health inspectors are not having capacity to do this work. Delmas is having the population which is 75,000. You can't have 2 field workers in that environment to make sure that these shops are being visited. You can't have 2. And it's vast, it's surrounded by farms. From here to Braakfontein alone, it's a long distance. From here to Sandra, it's a long distance.
In September this year, expired goods were confiscated from informal shops. It's also alleged that these branded products are counterfeits, posing health risks to consumers.
Therefore, it tells you to say this item has traveled a long distance. By the time it arrived in South Africa, it has already reached its sell-by date. It went above 6 months on its way. That is why you'll get the Zimba chips, which are not known. Where are they being manufactured? This package, if you look it is nice, it is sealed. There's nothing wrong with the package. Check the dates. What does it say?
It expired last year.
Yes.
2017. So this has been sold to the community in these spaza shops?
Yes, in the spaza shops. This is what if you look the packaging, it's good, it's still nice. You can go to ShopRite or whatever shop, but you'll see. This one, when you check the date, it has already reached its sell-by date.
After the raid, we went back to one of the shops from where expired foods were earlier confiscated. We found it to be restocked and it was business as usual. We asked the manager what he had done to address the community's concerns.
The people are saying that you're selling expired food and the food is not good for human consumption. What have you got to say about that?
This new stock, everything is nice, it's good. No complaint, everything. Everybody is saying no complaint is not here. Nothing complaint.
What happened to the old stock?
Old stock. Then everything is here, not old.
Okay.
New stock is new shop, new business. This is.
Welcome to the full view here on SABC News. It's great to have you with us.
You're not answering what I'm asking.
I'm saying to you, none of the commitments were ever met.
No, that's not true.
None of them were ever met.
That is not true. No.
The Wanyama Trust was not an act of the national government.
Is somebody suggesting that the one who happens to have a white skin should be subject to expropriation without compensation?
But again, I put it to you that that has not been conclusively decided. That's what this whole process, which you are a part of, in making your submissions, will decide. We don't know what the final beast will look like. And until we do, all you're doing is fear-mongering.
No.
Young people make up the majority of the people in this country. So why is it that the job market is filled with old people?
We also need someone who can help us with everything. Job opportunities are things that could do.
High levels of violent behavior in our schools, learners physically attacking other learners, learners physically attacking teachers, and teachers attacking learners.
The laws that are governing health today will all have to be amended and be changed. Nothing is going to stay the way it is now.
Hey, amakazi asipulele since kusucceeded as Fatimbawula like yabanda legoli, and then sesize decide ukuthi sivele sibase umlilo khona sokhona nokufudumala kusebenzeki na kahle.
Police killers are not coming from the sky. They are actually coming from the communities where we are. So it cannot be correct.
We regret what has happened because the strike affects everyone. So is electricity. Electricity also affects everyone. It's a community problem.
We are owning ESCOM. Currently, we could not reconcile the bill, what they bill us, with theirs. We could not agree.
The Cape Flats is under siege by the gangsters, by the drug dealers.
The community here say at this point in time they have had enough.
The end of the day, what is is happening. The police do nothing. The doctors get lost. We are sick and tired of this. We want the government to take note of us.
Talk to us about this symposium.
It's a national call for black people to come and have a conversation about the black condition. We have realized that after all that suffering, black people are still going through economic frustration. We also believe that heritage should be there to bring black and white together. We're not against the idea of rainbowism.
We have sourced a number of food products from spaza shops in the Mpumalanga area, where the community there have been complaining about food that is long past its expiry date. We also found some meat, wors, and chicken, which we will send to the lab for testing. All these products here appear to have been compromised in some or other way. The expiry date as well as the packaging. We are going to be sending these products to the laboratory to test to see if the products are fit for human consumption. To ensure an unbiased report, we sourced items from locally owned spaza shops and foreign-owned spaza shops. The samples were clearly marked and properly preserved. We then transported the samples to the laboratory for safety tests. A week later, we received the laboratory test results. The report disputed any food contamination and states that the food is fit for human consumption. The Human Rights Commission held an inquiry in September this year following the violent attacks on foreign shop owners in Soweto. The Commission looked at the effectiveness of the municipality to ensure compliance.
We discovered that a number of municipalities in the province don't have the required capacity to fully enforce bylaws.
At a media briefing also in September, the Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi said the Environmental Health Inspector's countrywide investigation of 470 shops did not find any evidence of counterfeit food in these shops.
To date, the Ministry of Health has not received any of this evidence up to so far. Yes, expired foodstuffs have been removed from premises, some destroyed, and others are for inspection, as I've given you the figures. The factory in Johannesburg where they were producing fake, I don't know whether to call it fake Valpre water. I won't say it's fake, that's real water. Only that is not. Yes, they were using it from ordinary tap.
The Human Rights Commission says the attacks on foreign-owned shops in Soweto were the result of a misinformation campaign in communities.
But there's also a need on the part of government to amplify awareness in communities, because the alleged xenophobic violence stems from misinformation and lack of integration and understanding of how or where foreign-owned shop owners procure their goods from.
We asked the Consumer Goods Council to assess some branded products sold at spaza shops. How do we know if this is counterfeit or if it is the brand name that it says it is? Because these are well-known brand names.
The challenges for the manufacturers exist that somebody can counterfeit your product, but I can guarantee you what brand owners are now doing and manufacturers is looking at additional markings that the counterfeit guy cannot actually copy. And that you'd have to get more detail on how that's done, but that is what we are sharing with brand owners on how to ensure there's less counterfeits and less fake product being produced, and that your brand is protected from counterfeits, is to do that by what's on the packaging and how you uniquely identify this product. So that's key for the brand owners. They need to do that, and they need to make sure they're investing in brand protection. And there's methods of identifying that.
Brand owners are now looking at introducing advanced technology to distinguish their products from counterfeits to ensure greater consumer safety.
I think from a smart label perspective, we are a little bit on products to have more 2D or QR code marking, because you are able to get more information through scanning that through your cell phone. Okay. So if we can see the adoption of more smart labeling on products, I think it's going to go a long way to pursuing better, safer products out there to be identified.
Raheem says, despite the traumatic ordeal, he is just waiting for the insurance to pay out. He will then clean up, fix the shop, restock, and start afresh. How has this impacted on
This looting is impacted not even on me, even with my wife. I'm here in South Africa almost 12 years, let's say 11 years now. I married here a local lady. I got a 2 child. So this thing even is hurting me in my heart is so much. Even my wife, she's not okay because she's also South African. She's a black woman also. So this is really this is the criminal activity in these places. I cannot say this is community do nothing here. Community is happy with us. We always helping them. We always with them. So this is just a criminal activity. You can even look at the places. They even pull down the ceiling. They even pull down the cables. They even stealing the almost everything. This shop is nothing.